Up next, I'm going to demonstrate an original I wrote that was birthed following a family discussion around the dinner table. The song is called You're Still the One and is coming up on Andrew's journey in Christian contemporary music. Welcome to Andrew's Journey in Christian Contemporary Music, where we dive into the classics, discover what's new, and demonstrate the originals. If you're into all things Christian contemporary music, please consider subscribing by clicking that button. And if you're liking what you're seeing, please give this video a thumbs up. Climb aboard, let's do the CCM journey together. I've created a Spotify playlist called Andrew Kralka's Originals. The playlist contains all my previously recorded and released material, and I'm hoping to add more in the future. The link to the playlist is in the description below. Sitting together at mealtime has always been important in the Kralka household. There's nothing better than being together, eating delicious food, and having great conversation. Sometimes it would be light and humorous, at other times more thought-provoking. At one particular dinner, we were having one of our solve the world problems kind of discussions. Now, I couldn't tell you what we were discussing specifically, but what I can recall is that when I got up to help clear the table off, I silently spoke this prayer to the Lord, something like, "Sure, there's crazy stuff going on in the world, but Lord, you are still the one that we all need." And that small chat with God became the creative spark for the song that I'm going to demonstrate today. You're Still the One, or sometimes I just call it Still the One, is structured with 5 verses and a refrain after verses 2 and 4. I suppose you can call it a verse-chorus structure, but I tend to look at it what some would call a AAA extended. The extended referring to the refrain after verses 2 and 4. Whatever the case, I wrote the song in the key of D major. It's essentially just 5 chords with a couple of suspended chords in there. The 1 chord, or the D, the 2 chord, or the E minor, and the 4, 5, and 6 chords, the G, the A, and the B minor 7 play. The suspended chords that I play in the song are the A sus4, the D sus2, and the D sus4. It's a pretty simple song. Let me demonstrate it for you, and then we'll go over the chord progressions. And as always, I've included the lyrics in the description below if you'd like to learn how to play and sing the song. So here it goes. You're still the one. You're still the one, the wondrous counselor. You're still the one that guides in truth. In a world that sees the way it wants to see, you're still the one to hold on to. Still the one, the valiant warrior. You're still the one whose strength abounds. In a world that struggles over power and might, you're still the one whose name resounds. You're still the one, still the one, still the one for us. You're still the one who seeks the fatherless. You're still the one whose arm extends. In a world where love, you're still the one who calls for them. You're still the one that touches troubled hearts. You're still the one who calms the seas. In a world that screams for peace on earth, you're still the one, the Prince of Peace. You're still the one, still the one. The Wondrous Counsellor, you're still the one, the mighty King. You're the everlasting Father God, you're still the one, the Prince of Peace. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, this song is in the key of D major. It's pretty simple. The first two lines of the verse goes D, A, E minor, and then D, B minor 7, and then A sus4 to A. Then the second two lines goes G, D, E, E minor 7, G, E sus4, and then D, B sus2, D. And then the second verse is the same, except it ends on the D right after the A sus4. So there's no D sus2 to D at the end of it. It just goes right to, because then we're going to go into the refrain. So the refrain or chorus or extension, and whatever you want to call it, goes, this is the you're still the one, G, D, and then G, A, B minor 7, G, D, and then the E sus4 to A. And then verse 3 is exactly like verse 1. Now in verse 4, the difference is there's a build into the chorus or the refrain or the extension that goes from D to D sus4 back and forth a couple times before it hits the refrain again. So that's the section that's when I kind of pick it up. In a world that screams for peace on earth, you're still the one, the Prince of Peace. Like that, and then it goes back into the refrain again. This time we sing it through twice, and then when we go back to verse 5, the last verse, it's all pretty much the same except at the very end. First of all, it's quieter again, and then at the very end it's Prince of Peace, and then to the D sus2, and then ends ends on the D. So a couple times doing that. And that's basically the song. As I mentioned earlier, I've included the lyrics in the description below if you'd like to go back and learn the song. And don't forget that you can check out my recorded and released music. It's on YouTube. It's on just about every streaming platform. Or just click the link below, as I mentioned earlier, that will take you to my Andrew Krauka Originals Spotify playlist. So you can listen to them there as well. Lastly, I'd always love to hear from you. So please leave a comment. If you're familiar with any of my other music, if you've listened to my Spotify playlist or have listened to my other music on YouTube or through various medium, and you'd like me to demonstrate one of those songs, I'd be more than happy to do it. Just, drop me a note and let me know, and I will demonstrate it. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We'll see you next time on Andrew's Journey in Christian Contemporary Music. God bless, and bye for now.